So good.
Yeah,
Was it that good?
It
I
was the best sporting event I've ever been to
Where
without
were
any
you?
athletic activity.
Okay, where were you standing?
Very close.
Right.
It was all open, and
Yeah.
we got there early, so we got to go maybe the 20th row back.
that's the Molson Amphitheater?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It looked good.
No, Budweiser.
Budweiser. It looked really entertaining.
It was so good, and I never knew Toronto was half Irish.
Yeah,
Like,
it
the
looked like
whole thing was just Irish people in front of us. They were just all with their flags, ole, 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 chanting. We got there.
I thought it was just Canadians that sided with MMA.
Oh, I don't know. It just seemed
I
like
don't
everyone
think
was
so.
Irish.
You
It
know
was a
what,
lot of white
maybe.
people.
Can you
A
imagine?
lot.
Such-
And a lot of white people drunk.
If you ever go watch GSP fight, people have that Japanese headband on.
Yeah, suddenly
They're totally
everyone's-
not Japanese.
Yeah.
But like, I wonder if someone's like, "Hey, man, who you want to support? McGregor? Oh, we'll go get a
go
flag."
get an Irish flag.
No, it was like exactly what I imagined. You know, Conor McGregor walking down. We were sitting like closer to the aisle, so we actually got to see Conor McGregor walk right
okay,
past
okay.
us.
How big is he?
He's tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
not
man.
that, but he walks like he's the boss.
Yeah.
Also,
Like
I've,
flex chest.
I've mastered the arm thing.
Oh yeah, that everyone's making fun of that right now.
Yeah.
The noodle arm.
I make fun of a lot of it.
I actually think it's impressive. Is it just
Okay.
me?
It's not.
If you
No,
can
he's
do it.
flexible.
How dare you?
What?
No,
you
listen,
don't do nothing.
listen.
How
I
dare
saw
you?
boxers doing it, and they look rigid. He looks like a noodle. Like he looks super flexible.
I hope it helps.
I think it's gonna help somehow.
What's the transferable part?
I don't know. Flexibility helps.
It does.
I
That's
think
true.
There you go.
That's true.
I think.
Plus,
it'll help.
just the entertainment value of doing it and laughing as you do it.
Yeah, I can't believe he actually. I don't know. It was just
Yeah.
him open workout. I guess.
Listen, the open workout was that. It was him opening and closing his legs real quick in boxing stance.
Yeah.
And he did hit some stuff, but I was just like, man, open workouts are no fun to watch.
No, they're not fun at all. But I watched the whole thing.
Horrible. They go on half speed. They don't hit
He
anything
was
that
so
hard.
slow, and he was talking to the audience too, right?
Right.
Like as he's doing it. So yeah, it was. I don't know, man. During the press conference though, when he gets up on stage, firstly, Dana White himself is
Yeah.
a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
Like Dana White came
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
and he goes, "Toronto, I wanted to tell these guys one of the cities you can never skip is Toronto." And after that, everyone's just like, "Oh, Dana White, we love you!" You know, you won the crowd over.
What is
Yeah,
up
yeah.
with the people? Love Dana wherever he goes. They're like, oh, there he
He's
is.
so
they worship
good, though.
him.
I don't
You
know.
know, simple. He's the face of a company.
Yeah.
He's like, arguably they kind of look at him like the CEO,
Yeah.
the CEO, but he also says crazy, outrageous shit
Yeah.
in
He
press
speaks his
conferences.
mind.
That's
You know
the
what I mean?
thing. That's the thing. That's exactly why people like him.
Yeah.
Just say some crazy Uncle Dana stuff about like female reporters every now and I've been following MMA for a while.
Yeah.
Now he has to they're associated with Fox News and ESPN covers it.
Yep.
I remember right before that, he used to call people like cunts,
Oh.
like openly, on like in interview
remember
sessions.
this.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's
I think you're just remembering Tito Ortiz days.
no, dude.
Like he hated Tito Ortiz.
No, I remember Joe Rogan calling a guy a fag for not knowing what a question mark kick
wow.
was. Yeah, tweeting it out
Oh wow.
and
That
then
would
later
never happen
clarifying
now.
that he didn't mean
Oh,
fag.
okay, yeah.
Like I was like, well, what you said though. So yeah, these guys are loved and beloved, and plus Dana's like a mascot. He's just like
Yeah,
he
he is,
represents.
that's true.
He's like a personality. It's
He
not even a
is.
guy who runs the UFC.
He's
Totally.
multiple things for
Yeah.
the UFC. He's
It's
multiple
true.
things, and that's why they can't get rid of him. There's
can't.
two. There's two people
No.
they can't get rid of. Is him and Joe Rogan.
Well, he has the relationship with the fighters.
Yeah.
I think all the fighters.
Yeah.
The fans love him.
Yeah.
So naturally, and he's synonymous with UFC,
Yeah.
right? Like
So
you
that's-
think of UFC, you picture Dana White.
So
Right.
when the buyout happened and WME bought the UFC for what 4.2 billion?
Yeah, 4.2.
It was contractually like we want these assets and we need Dana.
Yeah, he was
We-
an asset. Like
yeah.
he has to be on a contract
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Right. And he
Yeah.
probably got a big part of like ownership stock and
for
stuff
sure.
like
For
that.
sure.
but-
For sure.
That's
But
why
it's true.
McGregor asked for
For
ownership after his last UFC fight.
Well, I don't think McGregor's going to complain
Can
about
we
anything
talk
after
about
this.
just Mayweather, McGregor asking for things and making them happen for a second? Can we
Well,
open
when
up with
you have
this?
a cash cow like that, you got to give him what he wants.
that guy's vision board is insane.
You know what? They were talking about this actually the other day. They were talking about this. They were saying his his trajectory for his career is unlike anything anyone's seen.
No one has ever done this.
Because there's other sports don't even have something. It's not like when the NBA season starts, LeBron can become commissioner.
No.
But like Conor McGregor he's like, I'm bigger than the sport. Immediately, I'm bigger than UFC. You tell me if you want to co-promote. I'll let you know if we will or not.
Exactly.
What the
It's
heck?
crazy.
That
It's
makes no
absolutely
sense.
nuts.
It's
I love him so much.
and this
I
is
absolutely love it too.
love King
sport,
Kongers so
like
much.
historically where they control all the fighters.
No, man, but like, look at it. Like, okay, who does the UFC have? Who would you say are the biggest names for the UFC that you can say, like, Ronda Rousey's gone. Okay, John Jones is back. Okay, that's going to be a big draw. GSP, don't know when he's going to fight. I think it's slated in November, but...
Oh, yeah, 2017 contract signed.
It's signed?
Yeah, November.
Okay, so he's fighting November, so that's going to be a big name.
Yeah.
You're right, there's nobody.
Tell me someone else.
No,
Zero.
because the UFC doesn't have that situation where people used to hold belts for, 7 defenses, where you had, even the guys that weren't extremely well known, they had a certain... At least to the hardcores, and now not even to the hardcores, you're like, yeah, these guys are okay. But remember 5 years ago in the heyday where you had Aldo and Anderson or whoever it was that looked untouchable, but now everybody is like 1 or 2 defenses and they're out.
But I think it's more like I like this way more than the previous way, where Anderson would never lose in the next 4 years or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like in terms of this way, it's like people are getting the fights they want to see. Like he's gonna move up. I want to see him fight Tyron Woodley. Let's say Conor McGregor. I'll get that fight now.
yeah,
Right?
right.
What?
He's
I
gonna
don't
call
care.
him out.
I don't care. I want to see the fight.
It's true, and you're right. Like, you will get to see, because the fighters will have less power. They're going to be able to put them in situations they don't want to be in. But there's something to be said just to tune in to watch somebody's 6th or 4th title defense and just watching to get, you got to build
clinic.
legends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every sport is healthier when
Yeah.
there is some sort of dynasty, whether it's the Lakers or even now, basketball is arguably the healthiest it is ever
Because
right
of
now.
the rivalry.
Because of the rivalry
Yeah.
and the dominance of one team, the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
I think that's when overall people are most interested in willing to dump the money.
But you can say that now as well because Conor McGregor hasn't. I mean, he lost to Nate Diaz, but he doesn't lose either. He's doing
true.
things that the fights that you want to see.
Yeah.
He's going up to Nate Diaz, and he's not losing. So that's still a dynasty.
He's the only
problem-
one though now.
I agree.
That's the problem.
The problem with Conor is that his vision is bigger than UFC always.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he could very well stay in his weight class
Totally.
and defend consistently
Totally.
and then build the dynasty. But Conor McGregor is not looking for that. He's looking for like world domination.
For those
like
paychecks.
I don't know if you guys have seen Conor McGregor before he got to the UFC. Any of those fights?
No.
He was actually a 2-weight champion in his previous organization.
Yeah, I've
As
seen,
well?
Yeah.
I've seen some of the ones in.
And so he's like, I'll come to the biggest organization and become the 2-weight champion.
and
Where's
he came
my
out with a
belt?
bang.
Yeah.
Where's my
Yeah.
belt?
The first fight I saw with him was from. I think he fought the guy from the UFC show, the Tough Show.
Oh, okay.
Something Barao, not the former champion. And immediately, right from there, you can tell the guy's charisma on the mic was undeniable.
Yeah.
And the UFC put him on that trajectory just to challenge him.
Yeah.
And he just kept going.
He exceeded it.
Yeah. And then he started calling people out in a way that they couldn't deny.
Yep.
And hasn't stopped to this day. I don't know where he goes from here. I really don't know what happens. Win or lose, there's
don't
no
know
other peaks to climb.
For him also there was a special bond with his countrymen.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
the amount of people show up for the fights.
Oh, man.
it
Yeah.
made it. That was also the extra amazingness of the thing. Because like for GSP, you get a lot of people, but like most of them only came out to like Canadian fights, maybe close by. But
Yeah.
like Ireland,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Well, man, listen, I was at the press conference. I felt part Irish. You know what I mean? Like,
Who was the Irish hand grenade?
was it?
Marcus.
No, I don't remember.
Oh,
But I know
man.
exactly the
So
nickname
when-
you're talking about.
When the UFC started getting these, so the UFC at one point, it was very just North America centric,
Yeah.
right? California and Canada was, of course, a hotbed, and they were like, "All right, we got to go international." So they did a tough show,
Yeah.
exclusively with not even European fighters, England versus Ireland.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what they did, and through that, they got a lot of awesome British. They got
Bisping.
Dan Hardy. Bisping came much earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was coached
Bisping
by
was
Okay.
very early.
one or two, like way back.
I remember watching. That's when I used to watch the Tough Show. Now it's like,
Yeah. So when they started having fights in Ireland
Yeah.
at like the O2 Arena,
Yeah.
I believe it's called, immediately they were like shocked by how fanatic these drunken Irish fans
they're
get.
insane.
And McGregor and they had like an okay welterweight fighter.
Yeah.
Marcus Davis was his name, the Irish hand grenade. and he was all right, and they would come out in like swarms. The thing is, this guy's from Boston. He's not even from Ireland.
Right.
So when McGregor came on, they had their king, and he backed all of that up, including the neck tattoo of a crown.
He's unbelievable.
It was just a perfect happening of them being ripe for needing anything like this, and then McGregor coming out and being able to back all of this up.
Yeah.
Oof, this is a perfect storm.
Yeah.
But there's nobody else like him. I don't know what happens after McGregor. If he goes away, I don't know how.
You know, like the UFC has picked his opponents fairly well too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's only one grappler he's fought, and that's Chad Mendes.
Chad Mendes, I
and
know.
he exposed the weakness.
Yeah.
But I don't even think any of the other ones, I like Rafael Dos. I know they didn't fight, but I was like, I favored Rafael to win that one.
Yeah, but a lot of people favored Rafael. It doesn't matter if he did what Eddie Alvarez would have done.
Yeah.
Eddie Alvarez was not a striker. He just ended up standing up with Conor McGregor
And looked
and
so
looked terrible.
He's defensively very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like everybody else, I almost favored McGregor. Not necessarily Nate, but I was like Nate's bigger, whatever. But like everybody else, I was proven wrong every single time.
I'll be honest. I picked Jose Aldo to actually win.
Right, of course.
Yeah. No one would pick against Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
And then 13 seconds later,
So
I was proven wrong.
let me get
terrible.
your
That
opinion.
left hand, man.
Moving backwards.
Let me get your opinion on this.
Sorry, go ahead.
Just like you said, like Aldo was on top for 10 years, and so nobody would pick against him. Mayweather has been on top for
21 years. That's the number.
That guy hasn't lost.
Yeah.
And then comes McGregor, a guy who hasn't even fought in this sport, and all of a sudden, the betting lines are getting closer. I don't even know what's happening.
I don't understand why. It's
Okay,
because of...
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I would just merely say, like, isn't boxing records different from UFC records where a lot of, like, throwaway fights, they fight
tons,
like their
tons.
uncle?
The first, 15 fights, usually for a lot of the fighters, the first 15 fights are, pick and choose your opponents.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's match this guy up. It's all tune-up. You're growing. There's a lot of champions right now that have their belts in certain... There's, 3-4 organizations that made...
And, 75% of their
and a lot of their
were
fights are
tune-ups.
Deontay Wilder is the heavyweight champion in the US. I think it's the WBO champion. And he's 33-0. And you can't pick one quality opponent that he's fought.
But Mayweather's been fighting
But Mayweather's fought at... Yeah.
Dude, the
He's fought
lines are
everyone.
getting closer.
Yes.
He's been showing us, and McGregor's only been telling us, and people are believing McGregor.
Yes, but
Yes,
Mayweather,
because-
you're also saying he's 42, right? He's 2 years off 40.
Wait,
I don't know.
At a sport the other guy doesn't do.
but
That's true.
all McGregor has been doing is saying and delivering.
At a different
saying
sport.
and
Yeah,
delivering. But
yeah.
that's the thing, though. Every time he does
Listen,
it, you're
man.
like, Conor's not going to be able to do it. And then he does it. Conor's not going to be able to do it. And he does it.
But
I
this
told you,
isn't even the same sport. It's
After
like-
he won against Nate, I was like, I'm done doubting King
If
Conor.
I pick stocks and I pick this right company every single time,
Yeah.
wouldn't you believe me the 12th time that I picked the company?
Okay, if McGregor goes next, I'm going to challenge David Blaine. We're going to do... Listen, it matters. It matters what you're doing.
No, but he's not that far
I
off.
know, but it's like you talking
He's a
about
striker.
You're talking about stocks, and then you're like, "Oh, I can also do livestock. Watch me pick." And I was like, "No, I know it's a stock. I do."
Yeah.
But people are totally ignoring certain things, and somehow McGregor is able to make me believe. Yeah. But I know when I sit down and actually
And
think
think
about
about
it for 1 second.
Yeah. You're like, no.
But in my head, I can totally see McGregor winning and jumping on the
Totally.
ropes and being like.
Yeah. Where's my belt? Give me my belt. This ain't even a
Yeah.
championship fight. Where's my belt?
I can totally see it.
For sure. I'm picking Conor.
See?
Yeah,
This is what I'm saying.
This is what I was listening to a radio
lot of people
station.
are.
Yeah, a lot of people are picking Conor. I had an argument. Actually, I have a story.
The last
So
bas- yeah, go ahead.
I was at a gathering, like a family gathering, and I'm sitting there with a bunch of younger guys, some of which I know, some I don't.
Yeah.
And this topic comes up. We're talking boxing in general, and then the Conor McGregor Mayweather fight comes up. And there's one guy who's a die-hard McGregor fan, and we're talking. Okay, what percentage chance do you give McGregor? And I'm like 1%, 1% because he can throw a good punch. Yeah. Everyone gets 1%.
Right.
That's it. That's me.
Right.
This guy took it so personally.
I love it. We should have him on.
So personally, I was like, dude, relax. He was just like, no, there's no way. Southpaw. He's a heavy hitter, and he's just like, there was no logic behind it. He's
Yeah.
just he's Conor. That's it.
Yeah.
That's his argument.
Yeah, man. It's branding. His brand is that strong. He'll hit him with his brand.
I feel like my argument is a little better.
Okay.
Than that.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Right? Okay. Right? Okay, here we go.
The beard, it cushions, right?
All right, this is coming.
Mayweather's gonna hit him. Cushion beard. Boom.
First of all, this is coming from a guy who the last boxing match he ever watched was Tyson. Okay.
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually.
That's it. Oh no. And then Amir Khan getting knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was hella disappointing. Anyway.
No, it wasn't. He fought Canelo.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen.
That's supposed to happen. That was a bad choice for him.
Who fights?
All right. He's gonna get in close. He's gonna crowd him.
He's gonna crowd him.
I
like it.
Right?
He's gonna crowd the guy who never gets crowded.
Hold on, let him go.
Okay,
let him
go.
go.
Right,
let
right.
him feel his feelings.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Right? He's gonna drag his head a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe a couple of headbutts when he's not looking.
Dirty.
Right? Dirty boxing.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's gonna let go of that left. And when that connects, because we did see what happens when that left connects to that other boxer that he was
Pauly.
fighting.
Yeah. And they're all the same.
Yeah.
Across the board.
They all have the same
boxers.
chins.
Everything is the same.
Yeah.
And then if Conor feels that he's about to get completely outmatched, he will kick him by accident.
Ooh, I like this.
He will kick him by accident. Be like, you know what?
I feel like he loses money if he kicks him.
Yeah,
Like,
probably. A takeaway.
People have
like,
been saying like
purse.
it's in the contract. I'm just believing them. They're like it's in the
Yeah.
contract. He's gonna lose his money.
But if he shoots once, even if he pulls out of it,
fakes.
yeah,
you know,
just
like
fakes.
just to get his hands
Yeah.
down to like
If he
Mayweather
puts
reacts.
his back foot on the post and it looks like he's gonna throw a Superman punch, I'd lose it. I'd like,
Could you imagine? He can throw a Superman
He
punch.
can throw a
He
Superman
can throw a
punch.
Superman punch.
Oh.
That doesn't happen in boxing, guys.
Here, listen.
Can you feint an elbow? So you
no.
never land the elbow. You just make it look
No.
like you're about to
Plus,
do it.
if you
Yeah,
accidentally
you can make it look like you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
If you accidentally do it, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's hard to fake an elbow.
It's like,
Eh?
why does he not
Like,
feint
I don't even
kicking
know how
the
it looks
entire
like.
the entire
Yeah,
the
just
entire
like-
fight?
It's a plausible.
Just flinching constantly, just ready to go.
It's a plausible scenario what he posed. I mean,
Yeah,
in the
sure.
sense that it's possible.
Yeah, things are possible in the universe. Absolutely.
Right?
I agree.
So this is what I was thinking of two ways, and that was my one. He crowds him,
Yeah.
dirty boxes,
Yeah.
and kind of also is super active in the first round. I think that's his chance.
Man, the concern I have with I totally agree. I think that's how he's gonna win. If he wins, it has to be in the first like 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I don't know if he could go the full 12 rounds.
He will gas.
He will gas.
You think McGregor
goes-
can?
You pointed out today too.
Yeah, I was watching the open workouts, and McGregor looked tired to me.
Yeah, man, 12 3-minute rounds.
Do you think McGregor can like strike in the first round in a way that would make Mayweather think that, you know what, I can open up against this guy?
No.
And then no,
I think Mayweather is actually gonna be very cautious first 3 rounds.
that's probably true.
I think he's going to be very cautious because he's going to be like, okay, yes, sure, I see all these fighters
Yeah.
in boxing. I fought 49 really, really top of the line fighters. But now I'm fighting a guy who's completely unorthodox.
Right.
Right.
Like, I don't think I've seen anyone like this.
Right.
So he's going to take his time. He's going to learn what his tendencies are when he flinches, what he does. He's a smart fighter, man.
Yeah.
He's
no,
gonna
makes
be
sense.
and he will pick him apart afterwards. Like you will see it because the last big guy that he fought was probably Canelo.
Canelo was pretty big.
And I was shocked at how well Mayweather that wasn't a defensive fight to me for Mayweather, right? Mayweather actually fought a fight that he countered everything Canelo did because Canelo was just not fast enough. Mind you, he was 22, but he was just not fast enough compared to Mayweather. And I don't expect Conor McGregor to be faster than Canelo.
No,
You know what I mean?
sure.
So
Is it effective if they go with 8-ounce gloves? Ooh.
yeah. I mean,
are they going with 8-ounce gloves? I know that was.
it's in the final review or
yeah,
whatever.
I
from
thought we
the
would know that by now.
regulatory body, but I don't think anything's been announced.
It makes a difference,
Who
man.
gets
Totally.
the
Advantage?
Yeah.
Definitely Connor with the smaller
definitely
gloves.
Conor.
Yeah.
Connor says he's gonna get the advantage, so he's like,
We believe him.
He's saying 4-round knockout.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if he gets 8-ounce, 2-round knockout,
Yeah.
cut it in half.
Yeah.
Mystic Mac. That's
Mystic
what
Mac.
Mystic Mac told you.
No man.
And Mystic Mac has never been wrong
Mac, is
except
this a
for
thing?
once.
Mac.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
when they ask him when they ask him make a prediction
Yeah.
as to when you're gonna finish the
Mac,
fight,
that's his
he goes Mystic Mac. Yeah, there
Yeah,
he
he says third person, Mystic Mac.
That
It's
is insane.
to be quite honest, like that guy's persona is just so unbelievable. Like
Yeah.
he comes on stage, you're just drawn to him.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever he says, anything. There were like so many one-liners when he called out. It was in the Toronto one, to be quite honest, that he calls out the Showtime VP. I don't know if you guys saw that, where he He calls him a weasel, the show VP of Showtime.
Yeah,
And it was so funny.
Yeah.
It was so funny. We were all just laughing. And
To
it was
cut his
just
mic,
him
right?
insulting another guy that had nothing to do with the fight. I mean,
That is
as
hilarious.
a promoter, sure, but it was so funny. Called everyone, like, he didn't care.
The best part of that was he's like, "Does this mic work?"
Yeah.
Yes. Then fuck this.
Yeah, right. That's how he started the press conference. Loved it. He just won us over instantly.
All this pre-fight stuff has definitely been what I wanted out of this.
Yeah,
It's been insane.
So to me, I had to go to the press conference because of that.
Yeah,
Because I knew the leading up to it.
that's true.
Is where the excitement's gonna be. The fight itself is gonna be
What are we doing?
so-so.
Trying to
I can't
figure
believe
ourselves out.
you guys. Oh God,
I was in emotional
Mystic
space.
Mac would have figured all your problems out.
Jeez.
Sayed, you will be
You know, it'd be
mentally
funny. Like
okay.
as
Don't
he was
worry.
walking past us, like Zobi, he like just touched her head, and he was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
that would be
I
great.
see." It's like the Pope.
Yeah. Oh my God, I see now. You know, like
I've been
visions.
prioritizing wrong.
Immediately have his discipline.
Yeah.
I need to live in an attic immediately.
So good, man.
What do you guys? I've been looking at it from like a lot of different ways, just from like the way the media's been covering it to the way the fans have been receiving it. I feel like this thing is gonna be a huge pay-per-view buy. Like I'm
Yeah.
thinking like 5 million ish. Actually, what are the all-time pay-per-view buys?
So it's $99, which is higher than most pay-per-views.
Holy.
But it's discounted in Ireland and England.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I got discounted 2 weeks ago. They announced
Okay.
it. So
Cool. I know for a fact. So for the gate itself to actually go to the event, they've sold about 60 million. That was about 2 weeks ago. And to give you an idea, the record in boxing is Manny versus Mayweather,
Yeah.
and that was 72.
Right.
So these guys, they're hands down going to pass the
72, yeah.
Mayweather 72, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the pay-per-view buys, they're actually hoping for in and around like total revenue for this
Yeah.
fight is going to be around 750 to 800 million. That's what they're hoping for. That's why 300 of it, people are saying 300. I don't know if this is true, but Mayweather's going to get 300 out of this, and McGregor is naturally going to get upwards of 100.
jeez, 100 million.
For a guy who earns what? What's his last biggest, like, what's McGregor?
You know this, I don't know.
Like
this.
15?
It was 3 million for the Nate fight, which was like considered a big
wow.
number. And then
Yeah.
yeah. So
There's no losing for McGregor here.
Oh no. I can't imagine how he
Even if he gets knocked out,
if he get knocked out in
He
the
wins
first
in
10
life.
seconds. Yeah. Even if he
totally
gets knocked out, he's like, "Yeah, fighting the greatest of all time."
Yeah, that's it.
idiots.
that's it.
He gets on
100
stage,
million.
pop 2 alpha brains. He's like, good. I want to fight for a little while. It'd be good.
Never understood that, but you know, like boxing
100
is
mil.
where the money's at, man.
I'm trying to find the all-time pay-per-view numbers.
But yeah. But in the meantime, but what this event is actually doing, in my opinion, for boxing is actually quite impressive. Like
do you mean?
a lot of people will tune into boxing if
After
they
this?
keep up. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
you
they
think
absolutely, I think right after this they have the Canelo versus Triple G fight, which is going to be massive. Right, then Lomachenko, which is another guy, may tune in, and he's gonna fight at the end of the year. There's a lot of big names now in boxing, and this is probably because I've started watching boxing now.
Yeah.
Like this year has been phenomenal for boxing in general.
All right, so let me ask you this. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, that being said, if Conor wins, everyone goes to watch UFC.
I don't understand if Conor wins, what happens to boxing?
That's what I was going to ask you, is that I'm not a boxing fan, right?
Yeah,
But I noticed that they put a lot of pretty decent fighters on this card, and the reason for that is apparently because they know the MMA fans are going to show up regardless. It's
Yeah.
a freak show. We want
Yep.
to see Conor.
Yep.
But they need the boxing hardcores to buy this.
Yep.
And there's no guarantee. They might even, some of them are going to be turned off by this spectacle of, one of their best fighters fighting a clown.
Right.
So the rest of it has to kind of make sense. But like, are boxing fans angry at this? Like,
I think well, sure. Well, I think boxing purists are still gonna tune in. Max Kellerman's gonna watch. Teddy Atlas is gonna watch. All these guys are gonna still watch the fight. They've been crucifying the fight, the matchup. They've been saying this is stupid for the sport of boxing. It has nothing to do with boxing,
Yeah.
right? Like this is all gonna be one-sided. This guy's not even amateur level, let alone he's fighting the greatest of our generation, right? But nonetheless, average fans are gonna tune in to watch. That's the thing, right? Like, and if you can keep like 5% of that,
Right.
That's growth for the sport.
That's true.
Which potentially could be dying. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's been doing really well since the 80s or whenever they've had their peak. You know, so I don't know. I think it's a benefit. I'm a boxing fan now. Just to give you an idea. And I was never watching boxing before that. So now I'm watching all these other fights throughout the year. I'm taking a boxing class.
See?
What else do you need?
He's got gloves
You know
on
what I
right
mean?
now.
No,
I'm buying gloves.
You're not gonna get me to watch boxing though.
Man, it's so good. It depends on the matchup, obviously, that you get.
Who are the guys to watch? Just I know we're not gonna spend too much time on this.
So this year, the fight that you should go watch now.
Did Triple G already fight?
No, he's fighting next September.
Okay.
You all should watch that fight.
Right.
Canelo versus Triple G. That'll be the fight.
That's the fight.
That is
I just
the
know
fight.
those two big names.
They're
Yeah.
huge names.
Yeah.
They're huge names, and people have been asking for this for the last 2-3 years, and finally
They're both
it's
in their
happened.
prime.
They're both in their prime.
Yeah.
Which is rare, right? Because
Yeah.
Manny and Floyd weren't in their prime.
Right.
It would have done crazy numbers, but now this is gonna probably swing better naturally. This is gonna, you know what I mean. But in terms of that fight's happening this year. Some names to look at. Anthony Joshua is obviously that Klitschko fight.
That's the guy who slept with presumably slept with Amir Khan's wife.
He did not. He denies it. He put it on Twitter. He's like, I did not. It's like, I did not sleep with his wife. Yeah, but presumably, yes.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
but he's the heavyweight champion, and his fight against Klitschko was one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Really?
It's just like one guy hits one guy down, he falls. Then
I
the
saw-
next guy hits the other
yeah.
guy down in the 11th, he falls. It's very back and forth.
I saw the highlights, and it got sloppy, but
It got really sloppy.
very violent.
It was a slugfest, but that's
And
what
this
you want
guy's
heavyweights.
this guy's arms are just
Oh, he's so jacked.
like my head.
Yeah.
Like your thigh.
He's deezed. He's deezed.
Okay, but more importantly,
Amir Khan's wife.
yeah, are they separated?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they are, man. You don't have a shot with her
This is
or
so
him.
funny.
I just
This is
wanna
so
know.
funny. This is
wanna know.
so funny. Yes, I think they're separated.
Separated.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too sad.
Yeah,
You know what? I
super
did watch. I did read the tweets. Amir kind of looked like he lost his mind a bit.
Yeah,
And-
I read them
really?
too.
Yeah, he was.
Me and my wife were sitting there because my wife follows her makeup stuff.
Yeah.
And me and my wife are
Oh.
sitting there, and
Yeah.
we're like, "Oh, this actually happened." She's like, "Oh my god, they're actually splitting." And then we went through each tweet, and they're like, "Oh, this is rude."
oh my
And his
God.
wife
What?
took it really, not took it really well, but she handled it really well.
Yeah.
Like she came out on top. You know, she just
Yeah,
came out on top.
surprisingly.
Like she handled it with grace and whatever, and then stepped
Surprisingly.
away. But Amir, not a good look.
No?
Not a good look for Amir
Sorry,
at
this
all.
is completely a
happened?
tangent, but I don't see the need to post it on Twitter, guys. You're going back and forth,
no.
but it's husband and wife on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
see the need to do
Doesn't
that. But
seem
anyways.
healthy.
Well, he did
Yeah.
it first, and then he called
They
her out
should be
for
going
for-
to the therapist.
I was thinking that. I'm like,
Right,
that guy.
guys?
See, that guy probably went to the. You would go for the show. We'd watch Connor
See, there you go.
and then
Exactly.
tweet about it on the way.
And then-
You guys want to guess who the top 3 pay-per-view buys of all time have been?
For what?
Boxing.
For boxing? Oh,
Yeah, but these are
Manny-
pay-per-view all times. Period.
They're all Mayweather.
Yeah, they're all Mayweather.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
Manny
Canelo-
and May
Canelo
is first,
Alvarez?
Canelo and Mayweather's second.
Yeah. Canelo Alvarez was number 2.2 million. Number 2 is Floyd and De La Hoya, 2.4.
Oh yeah.
And then Manny and Mayweather, 4.6.
Yeah. So
Does UFC even rank in top 10?
No.
Oh, no, I don't think it'll be anywhere.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
The lowest, no, you know what? The lowest in the top 10 is 1.5 million.
Oh, UFC might be there, and that would be
Yeah.
a Connor show.
No. Well, it could be, but it.
Or Ronda.
Rousey.
Or Ronda. yeah.
Brock and GSP were on one card at one
On
point.
one
that,
card?
that drew more than a million. And 1.5 is. Anyway,
See,
you guys talk amongst yourselves.
a UFC fight that would do huge numbers, and we're talking numbers here.
Brock
Actually,
Lesnar and Jones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That would be fun to watch.
It would be fun to
I
watch.
just want to be a fan, and I want to be able to if I'm playing a video game and I
Yeah.
want to be I want to see this guy fight this guy. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see
right.
that.
I want to see this guy fight a bear. Let's do it.
in
Right?
my brain though, right? Brock is 4 times bigger than Jones
Yeah.
because
Comfortably. His fist is the size of his hand.
Right.
The gloves he wears.
but we also know
Mm-hmm.
that Brock is can be beat with
Brock
some,
is a-
some easy talent, right?
Yeah, yeah.
we've seen Frank Mir make him tap
Yep.
and all that other stuff. So we know it can be done.
I would
that being
love
said,
to see that
he's
fight.
just such a
too.
ginormous human being.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Shaved gorilla.
it's like the
Like an
old
albino
days.
shaved
You know when the UFC had no rules?
Yeah.
Where Tank Abbott would fight Hoist Gracie?
Oh, not even, dude.
I don't know if you've seen that.
You see a sumo guy, like literally wearing all the sumo full gear, and like a karate guy. You're like, what the heck is gonna happen?
That's what it kind of is. Modern day, like a big Brock is like cutting down to 265.
That's insane.
And then Jones is just gonna fight at his natural weight. Like he doesn't need to cut. He just
I'd
fights
be
at his
curious
natural.
to see what that natural weight is.
It's probably like 225.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a lot more than that. I think
It's not gonna be
225
I don't think he's.
It shouldn't even be
I don't
230.
think he's nearing that like 250
No,
level.
I don't think
at all.
I think him at his best is probably 220s.
Yeah.
I think 230s too. Like he took it easy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Number one pay-per-view by UFC of all time, 1.6 million. So it would be in the top 10 for
And
boxing.
Who is that?
Diaz McGregor too. So,
See,
but that's
Diaz McGregor 2 was gigantic, though.
going back.
They were
Yeah,
throwing
absolutely.
monster cans at
Absolutely.
their press conference.
And this is why I think that if somehow McGregor wins, they do another one because Mayweather knows. Mayweather knows that twos do more than ones. Like people want to
You
see
think Mayweather throws the fight?
I don't think Mayweather does another one.
No, not for number 50.
It depends on the first one, right? Like, if the first one, you can't go against, like do this whole rodeo again and expect to get like a better number. I don't think so.
If McGregor
the fight
somehow
itself,
wins
like-
it and it's somehow controversial, you don't think so?
Yeah. If it's okay, yeah, that's a lot of
stepped
if
on his
statements,
foot.
though.
This is what McGregor's gonna do. What
Yeah.
do you mean? If McGregor like looks down, steps on his foot, and then punches him with his left.
He should do that.
I know.
Why wouldn't he do that? I'm totally for him doing that.
Totally okay with it.
It happens in boxing. I didn't mean to. Sorry. Like,
Be
I
if
stepped
you
on his
aren't
foot.
cheating, you're not trying. He's not West Indian. I know he's not West Indian. That's all I got, though. That's all I got.
It's too funny. But yeah, no, honestly, like it should be exciting to. But I don't know. I'd be curious to know what your guys' take is on the back and forth that's gone on between Paulie and McGregor.
You been following this?
Only a bit, but it just
it's
seems
so
like
fun.
First of all,
It's awesome.
It's great.
there was no video, there was no picture. Paulie was saying some story. He was saying what he was saying, right? You got he was
Absolutely.
like Conor was doing a lot of illegal type stuff in
Yeah.
the fight, right?
Yep.
And then the video gets released, and all of a sudden people are like, "Dude, none of the things you said is happening in this video."
Yeah.
Even boxing people were saying that. I don't know if they were actually fighters or commentators, but they were saying
fighters.
Okay.
They
And
asked like Sugar Ray Robinson. They're like, "Oh, does that look like a knockdown to you or a push down?" Because that's what Paulie was saying, and he's
Yeah.
like, "That's a knockdown."
yeah.
Like everyone,
Yeah,
it's very clear.
Is that? Did we miss? Like, isn't it just like not even a minute?
Yes.
What was released?
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
like
cool. I'm just
it's
making
like
sure I didn't.
on Instagram, there are like 3-4 clips at
Yeah,
different
that is
angles
it.
of the knockdown.
I see.
At like
Okay, the knockdown wasn't even that impressive. What was impressive, however, was the left hand, that brutal left hand.
straight.
Yeah,
and
the
his
straight-
head just
and
jerked
boom.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary.
That was a nice hit.
Because we do know his left hand will turn out the lights.
Yeah,
I didn't find any of the videos interesting or impressive.
I loved them.
I loved them.
Yeah.
I loved what came out of them.
Yeah.
But that's what's supposed to happen. I think
Sure.
if McGregor fought Paulie, I think McGregor probably wins.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, about
But
that.
isn't he like a two-time champ?
He is.
Did you watch Paulie's last fight from last year where he looked like horse poop?
Who did he fight?
He fought somebody in Europe, I believe.
Okay.
And I just watched the fight.
Paulie's actually a lousy fighter, man. Like I've watched some of his
Really?
fights, and he's like, I don't know if I could say a lousy. Actually, I take that back. I don't know if I could call any boxer that's a 2-time champion a lousy fighter.
Yeah.
But
There's
he's
a lot of
definitely
belts.
there's like a tier of excellent fighters, which is like Miguel Cotto, Maidana, Manny, Mayweather, and then Paulie's like down here.
I see.
You know what I mean? Like he's not that tier where you're saying that he's one of the elites, even though he had a belt. That's
Yeah.
the problem with boxing, right? That's
many
the problem
belts.
with boxing.
I didn't learn anything from those videos. I did love Paulie talking about he's been disrespected and he didn't like it, and then there was no video, and this video comes out,
Yeah.
and everything that came from there.
Yeah.
It's been one. And Conor being like, I think it's you get it's like concussion talking, and I'm just like,
There's two things that were interesting to me. I was surprised. One, I was surprised that Conor actually released. I don't know if it wasn't Conor that released the photos, but
Dana.
whoever was releasing those photos
the photos, the earlier ones,
before
yeah.
that led to Paulie leaving the camp, I thought that was unfair.
Yeah.
I don't think that was right to do to your sparring partner.
It's not.
Especially, and you do know the background of the story, right? He landed, and they're like, "Okay, let's go to the gym." From the airplane, directly get in a car, Uber or whatever,
Yeah.
drive over to the gym, and they're like, "Okay, you're going 12 rounds.
And there's a ref
to
here.
a guy who doesn't box anymore.
Yeah.
Is not in shape, and there's a ref. This isn't sparring.
This is a setup.
It was a setup.
That's a setup.
And then they release photos afterwards of his hands like behind his back. Like he's like, oh, look, I can fight him without any hands.
Right.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
according
Like,
to
I thought that was dirty.
And it was like late. You can tell by how sweaty everybody is. They've already been fighting for a bunch of rounds at this point.
Yeah.
So it was like, very. I can see why Paulie's angry. All of that.
Yeah.
I just love if you're gonna pick on somebody, Paulie's a great guy for that.
Well, it's because Paulie was talking so much shit.
Have you seen Paulie with the braids? He had a boxing fight. He had braids.
Yes, I've seen the
And
fight.
then while boxing, the braids would hit him in the face and the eyes.
Yeah.
So mid-round, he was like, cut him off. And they were like cutting with the medical scissors, cutting his
That's
braids
so
off.
funny.
And it was the funniest thing where he's just like, all right.
That's so funny. Yeah, that guy, like, I don't know about. I thought that was unfair
Yeah.
to Paulie, but nonetheless, I mean, Paulie was talking a lot of shit before.
It's true.
He's like, put me with ankle weights.
But he's
Like the cameraman can beat Conor.
Bro,
Who the hell is this guy to come into our sport?
he's in
talking
the
a lot of
booth.
shit.
He's going to be in the booth.
Yeah.
A guy who's
He's
actively-
commentating the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
A guy who's actively
Probably.
beefing with one of the guys. Not all just beefing, like they fought.
Yeah,
and there's,
yeah.
it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Is now in the booth where he's supposed to give like his play-by-play. Like it doesn't make any.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be there.
I don't think. Maybe they'll take him off. I don't know. Because of the relationship. It's a big enough paper.
You can ruin the commentary by one guy going, "See, take that, you bitch!" Like it's not. Like as soon as Mayweather hits him, he's like, "Yeah, that's right."
Someone cut his mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I thought that was unfair. The other thing I want to ask is, in terms of, so obviously Conor, there's this race card now that Mayweather's playing. I don't know if you guys have heard this.
I heard this.
There's this race card that he's playing.
He accidentally said boy once.
No, not even the boy thing. Yeah, the boy and son
Yeah.
thing is one thing, but then he just had
Oh yeah.
he just had an interview with Stephen A. Smith, who we all love so much.
Sure, I do.
Stephen A. Smith, and he called me a monkey.
Yeah, but I heard the reply. Go ahead though.
Yeah, I heard the reply too.
Wait, what's the?
But, like,
I don't know the story.
you haven't heard the
Catch
Conor-
me up.
So no one called anyone a monkey.
Right.
It's very clear. No one called anyone a monkey. But Mayweather assumed that he called him a monkey. He used some sort of context in Wizard of Oz, the monkeys, something like that.
Okay.
To that extent, but it wasn't like he was ever calling anyone monkeys.
No.
And then Mayweather took it that way,
Yeah.
and then Conor replied back.
Yeah, and he was saying that he was making reference, like Conor was making reference to the particular gym. The gym in which they train is kind of like they have like monkey bars, and it's like an obstacle course of some sort. So he's like it's like monkey business. Like you're training like a monkey. So that's what he was that's what he was poking fun at. The thing is that I feel like it's tentative at best because Conor is not a racist. I think it's pretty like I don't think that's his game.
I
right?
hate that.
And
I
also,
hate that they try to play the card.
Yeah.
they shouldn't have done it because the thing is that like even when he's saying son, like I remember watching that once when he said, dance for me, son, right? And then immediately after he said son, he realized he said something. So when he said again, dance for me something.
I think he said boy. He didn't say son.
okay.
I've heard him called boy or no. He said son too, but
Yeah.
You're not
I've
suppo-
seen him say
you
that
can call-
to TJ Dillashaw all the time.
You can call a black person son. You can't call them a boy. And there's a big differentiator
him boy
between the
all
You
two.
call
the
him
time.
boy, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And it's also there's maybe a cultural difference, especially growing up in Ireland where you don't. But regardless, like when you're on a global
Yeah, you
person
need to
like
know.
Conor is,
Yeah.
especially when you're.
But the thing
they're
is
both
that I think
marketing.
there's a difference between
No,
him
but-
saying it, like him saying something racist
Mm-hmm.
versus him actually being a racist. Like, if he gets called out and he's like, I'm sorry, don't say it again,
Mm-hmm.
right? He said some racist shit. He's not a racist because
Right.
he doesn't know the context behind that. He doesn't know what the weight of calling boy, because regular people do that mistake. There was a comedian who was telling a story how he walked into he was in a club. It was predominantly a black club.
Yeah.
And he walked into the washroom and he was just like drunk happy. He walked in, he's like, "Hey boys, how's it going?" And it was just a bunch of black dudes in there, and they all turned around and just like mean mugged him because he hadn't known what he had said.
I think
And-
that's just a white guy being loud at a club, at a black club.
Yeah,
because I don't
I
think
guess.
anybody gets mad at boys. Like if you're playing basketball, like, let's go, boys.
Oh, maybe
No one's gonna look at
he
me.
didn't say plural.
that's
I don't
true.
remember. All I'm saying is that like once when he said it, he's like, "Oh shoot."
In Conor's defense, I've seen him like on the Tough Show itself
Yeah.
when he was against Uriah, call him a boy.
Boy.
Called him, TJ Dillashaw a boy.
I think he
course.
calls everyone boys.
I think it's just he doesn't
Yeah,
know.
you can also call TJ Dillashaw a monkey, and it doesn't make any difference, Obi. Like there's certain things you can say to certain
fair,
people,
valid,
right?
Yeah,
I can say LeBron has a chink in his armor. I can't say that about Jeremy Lin.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So like, yeah,
that's fair.
different.
That's fair. Okay. On that note,
I don't like any of the. Obviously, the mainstream media has no way to really break down boxing and MMA. They're just so old for the most part.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
Like even when it's Skip Bayless and Shannon, or
that's the worst.
Max is so. We're so lucky to have Max with Stephen A. to kind of
Totally.
But other than that, whether it's Mike and Mike or whatever, they have no idea. And so as soon as there was a little bit of racism, a lot of these outlets just ran with it. Like, oh, it's just race baiting. This is the lowest form of fighting. We're just race baiting, and it's just going to be a racial thing. And I don't like Mayweather talking in a way that somebody actually did call him a monkey. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
don't-
this is what you use to sell fights.
Yeah, but like to him, to be quite honest, I think he's doing exactly that though, right? Like he just wants to see the number at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Be that record number, and to him, that's a success.
Maybe he's like trying to tap the untapped market. Like he's getting Black Lives Matter the demographic as well, because now they have a stake in the thing as well. Maybe he's just trying to go through his head who he can tap.
Yeah.
What's the next demographic he can go for?
It's probably he's exactly right. It's just like I feel like the racism part is not gonna. It's not. It's a turn off. It hurts both sports.
I
It really
agree.
does.
It's
That
like- yeah.
absolutely does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As somebody who cares for the sport, both of them.
Yeah.
Like, I wish there were. I'm gonna get into boxing, but I wish like every sport was healthy as it could be. I wish tennis was in its heyday, like Agassi and Sampras. It's just that's what you want to see. You want to see multiple sports, and something like this just hurts everything.
I agree.
The CTE stuff, of course, hurts everything as it should, but like
man.
this is
Yeah.
CTE hurts football so much.
yeah, man, that stuff's getting pretty crazy.
I love that movie, Concussion.
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 Yeah.
That's where I learned all that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Did you
I didn't know
did you watch
before that, to
the
be quite
documentary?
honest. No.
It's actually really good.
Really?
It's a PBS documentary called don't remember.
The
I'll
same
tell you.
doctor? I can't remember his name.
Same doctor. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
based on, but you actually get to talk to that doctor,
Oh wow.
right? And super interesting.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think it was in the. I don't know how. I usually like to fact check movies when they say things like that are supposed to be true facts.
Cowspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
There's a lot of issues with that one,
Ah.
factually. Did you ever hear of an MMA fighter back in the day named Gary Goodrich?
Sounds familiar.
So he was
now.
in the first few UFCs, and I got to meet him 2 years ago at MMA Expo doing a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament there. And this guy was super nice. He had a booth,
Sure.
and you cannot have a conversation with him because his words were slurred so badly from all the beatings he's taken. And while even having a short small talk conversation with him, it was so evident that this guy's not. He's like it's past drunk. He was repeating things within a 1 minute conversation.
Oh,
And
boy,
that's where when I see GSP walk away or McGregor say like I might just hang it up,
Yeah.
I say do it,
Makes
man.
sense.
I'd rather see these guys be around. Like we're gonna remember this in 20 years from now.
for sure.
Yeah.
I want to like remember McGregor and Mayweather as people who can like function. But like I was at an MMA expo where I met Andrei Arlovsky, Mark Hominick, and like did a tournament, and I was sad. I literally like I met this guy, and
I was with you.
yes, you were there.
I
You
was
were there.
with you.
Yeah.
We met Andre Arlovsky at the time.
His eyes were
I was
getting
like,
smart. He's
wait. I was like,
wait a minute.
I remember going
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I felt bad for them. Like this is not good for the sport because like this is gonna happen, and I'm actually, I think CTE is gonna be the end of all of this. Like you can't. If you want to keep making MMA exciting, you gotta somehow take all those brain
Well,
damage.
they got to
out.
regulate that then, right? Like it's gonna be like at a certain point in time, like your lifespan. Right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a certain
It's just not.
lifetime.
either-
You're gonna have expiry date.
But that's not where
You
people are
stop
gonna walk.
to-
That's
I know.
you know.
No, they're not going to do that. What they're going to do
I
is
don't-
drill a hole into your head and then push stem cells in there, and then
Right.
you just throw you back in
Yeah.
there,
Yep.
and we can get
You're
a
good to
fighter
go. Let's
who's
go.
who's in his 40s. You put him on TRT, and we're gonna get like crazy freak shows. That's
Your
what's gonna
your answer is probably more
That's true.
realistic to what's gonna happen.
All right, take it up another notch. So what you do is you get fighters to sign not lifetime contracts, after death contracts, right? And then you take Chuck Liddell and you like build him again.
Cyborg.
You cyborg that. You put all the stem cells in there,
Yeah.
everything you need.
Yeah.
He's half Borg, ice. He's half ice or whatever their nicknames are. All of them.
The Iceman.
Yeah. Rampage has like a turbo button on him, and he's just like, oh shit. And I think that could be a thing. Give it. Mark my words.
Look,
Buy them bodies.
funny.
Buy Chucks. I think they should do it.
It's terrible.
either-
It's a
or
great idea. Yeah.
or another option would be if they can learn how to transfer your consciousness from one brain to another brain.
Okay.
Right.
You're talking Get Out stuff.
Wait, hold on. I don't see this panning out.
Okay. Right. So
Yeah.
like then Chuck Liddell,
Yeah.
they clone him, but the 30
Oh, I
year old
see.
version of
the
him.
cloning part is
The
important as
cloning
well.
part is important.
Like, that's-
Yeah, for a second, I was like, then it's a different
Why don't you
person.
just clone him? And that way you don't have to do any of the mind swap. It's
yeah,
a clone.
but when you clone, you know that like they don't have the
Oh, he's
soul
gonna
and
be
whatnot.
soft.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta
this
put
guy.
him old thing in there. So basically, what you're getting
You've really
is you're
thought
getting,
this through.
is you're
Yeah,
getting
I know, it's like,
Is
you
you're
can
getting-
tell when there's like a Marvel nerd, there's like a comic book reader. Hold on, I thought about this.
That's funny.
right then and there,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting a 40-year-old fighting veteran
Right.
inside a body of a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
So you're going to get this next level skill. I think
level.
also one of the things about the fact that no one holds the crown for so long in UFC is that a lot of training camps are at their pinnacle. There's like 3 or 4 are sitting at the very height
top, yeah.
of like their nutrition, they like they found a balance in between all of those things. You know, and if a particular fighter goes through those specific places, they come out to be like as top of a prime human as possible.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is that as a result, there's all the sharks are very close to the level, right? Whereas like Mighty Mouse Johnson, right? Although he's a great fighter, the problem is that his opponents are not of they're
Yeah,
not the same
he's just-
caliber as welterweight.
He's just Ronda Rousey was for the women's division, right? Like until the level of women's competition, which is now like Amanda Nunes looks like a tank.
Yeah.
Like there's like guys that she can fight comfortably. I think if you're just asking striking,
Cyborg was really good,
I
too.
think she's great. Cyborg is a man.
Hey guys,
Cyborg is a man,
guys,
dude.
guys,
We don't want to do this?
just don't do this.
Okay.
Wait. I know where you're going, and I know where you're going.
You may not know where I'm going.
Okay. Well, I will say is this,
Okay.
right? So what's the tennis player, the twin, the one that's the champ.
Williams?
Serena.
Thank you,
Williams?
right?
I like you just
Yeah.
made them twins.
I was like, Williams sisters?
Sorry, sisters, right?
That's okay.
Right. So she's like no argument the top. Like,
Yeah,
she's number
yeah,
one,
yeah.
right?
As I love tennis, and she's number 1.
Right. But if they put her against like a male tennis player,
Sure.
that male tennis player, the last time they did that was ranked 203 out
Yeah.
of all of men.
Yeah, I remember.
Just
that
because
stat.
the sheer mechanical
That's the
difference.
stat that Pete Sampras said.
We
when
don't-
he
Oh,
said
was
his
it?
controversial comments.
Yeah, let's.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right. So like, it's not with regards to
McEnroe?
skill. It's like
You
it's
mean John McEnroe?
Sorry, that's exactly what
That's
I meant.
okay. I don't want to have you first sully the good name of.
Yeah.
Pete
Sorry,
Sampras.
John McEnroe. Yeah.
and so it's like it's a question of mechanics,
Right.
And so
And
that's
that's what I'm
different.
saying, guys.
That's why we can't do Amanda
Yeah.
versus.
Let's
a
enjoy
dude.
female tennis for
Okay,
female
going back
tennis.
to the-
Let's enjoy female MMA for female MMA.
I just don't think Demetrius Johnson has the level of
Hey
talent
man,
in that
you're
division
right.
to fight against.
It's nowhere like Ronda and whatnot. It's the reason. There's a lot of reasons why Ronda's division wasn't fully fleshed out. Number one, there was a huge lack of opportunity. Of course, there was no UFC women's division, but even like shows that would have a lot of, like, let's say state that would have a lot of MMA, like Iowa, there's a lot. Opportunities for ladies to fight would be very low.
Right.
And they are not going to get paid as much. It wasn't until really that Invicta started, which is now owned by the UFC, which is an all women's fighting promotion, and the UFC making its own women's division, that these ladies started coming up, and it took them honestly like 2 years to catch up
Right.
to Ronda. Demetrius Mouse Johnson isn't fighting in a weight division. There's a ton of tiny men that do boxing and wrestling already.
Yeah.
And he said the heap of this, and it's not because there's a lack of talent, it's because there's a gap in talent. And there's a huge difference.
You think that's why he's so head and shoulders above?
Yeah, he's so head and shoulders above everybody. Because there's everything else is there. There's a certain amount of money there. There's a plenty of competition, athletic. Heavyweights are not going to be as athletic as that just because most humans don't get that big. And if they do, they're going to try to play other sports because you can get paid better.
Right.
Tiny men are a dime a dozen, right, Zobi and me?
Right.
So, like, guys weigh like us, we can cut down to a guy like my I used to compete at 133.
Right.
Yeah.
You could, if you wanted to, probably cut down to like 125 and balloon back up to like.
Never do that.
I know.
It's
Trust
brutal.
me. So, like, Demetrius Johnson is not a product of a weak. I know that seems that way, but it's really not that. Trust me. That's why he is the pound for pound best MMA fighter at the moment.
Yeah.
Pound for pound.
And he's never going to make half as much money as John Jones.
Which is unfortunate because I really like watching Mighty Mouse fight.
Yeah.
He's really entertaining to watch.
Okay, so now going back to the men versus women thing. So if you take like a big, like if you take Cyborg versus Dimitri, because Dimitri's tiny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind watching that. I pay good money for that.
Yeah.
I'd take Dimitri's.
I don't know. I watched Cyborg's latest fight and I was super impressed.
Oh my God.
She did
Super
very
impressive.
well.
Yeah, she
I can't
actually.
remember who she fought, but it was just like, the other girl had just stepped in.
Jermaine Durham to me, they took her
2 week notice or something.
Yeah.
It was,
Well,
Geraint stepped down and gave up the belt so she doesn't have to fight Cyborg.
I couldn't believe that.
That is weird. That is weird to hear a fighter do that.
I was
like, why don't you
pretty
just
disappointed with
Why
that.
don't you just lose to her?
Yeah, just lose. There's no shame in that.
You've lost
Cyborg.
before, you know.
Yeah.
It's like she didn't want to get hurt anymore.
But I
That's
think
exactly-
Cyborg damages you. She hurts. You're never the same again.
Yeah, because Cyborg hangs out with Gabby Garcia.
Yeah.
That's who she hangs out with, which is like a 7-foot gigantic woman.
Do you know who Gabby Garcia
I have
is?
no clue who
So if
Gabby
you want to
Garcia
watch
is.
like freak show fights, he's Brazilian. She's like 6. She's like bigger than Yassine, and
What?
she's very much on steroids. Where she has these like
Wait, I'll get you-
rounded
Where's she
out
fight?
shoulders.
Where's she
She
fight?
fights in Japan, and like the last fight I shot, she fought like a 40-year-old woman. She does the
She
she fights the freak
pro wrestler.
shows,
Wow.
and she beats them mercilessly. And Cyborg trains with her.
Huh.
But she's huge. She's like literally Yassine if Yassine worked out a lot more.
And what class would it be? What
Like
weight class?
205 or
Oh
something.
my
Like how heavy
God.
is she? She's in the 200s.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I get it. I was wondering. I was like, why isn't she fighting if she's a normal weight? Like maybe she's just a tall person, weighs less.
No.
Oh no, she's.
Who's this beside her?
Yeah,
That's
there's no
Vanderlei.
heavyweight.
Okay, so that's Vanderlei beside Gabby.
Oh my.
So
God.
you can see she's much bigger than him.
Oh my God, she's bigger than Wanderlei.
And
That's
now
not
she's
205.
lean. She's lean too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
now she's this.
She's done the right steroids.
I'm like Wanderlei's 205.
Yeah, she's easily like a heavyweight division.
That's
They don't
crazy.
even see the problem for her is that the reason she's fighting all these random folks,
They don't have a weight division.
they don't have women that size.
They don't have women.
What
that
is
size.
this? Her fist is as big as this person's head.
It's like Andre the Giant. Yeah, I feel bad for her.
that's
What else are you
insane.
supposed to do?
Yeah, no, she has to fight whoever she's gonna
Yeah.
get. If she's gonna be a fighter, she has to fight whoever she's gonna get. There's not gonna be competition.
I
in
feel
that.
like she should get her English on and then become an actress. For sure. There's got to be
Huh.
There's got to be something you can do that's a little bit more
She's
lucrative.
gonna be in like Expendables,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Expendables 4.
I like it. She's just big and jacked. It's like, you know what? If she learns English, she could be in the movies.
That's exactly it.
That's
she
the
can be
only
the
thing-
strong
that's the
silent
only-
type. She doesn't even need to speak.
Yeah. All right. So, what are the possible ways that this fight is going to end? What is the way you think McGregor? Actually, you talked a little bit about that. The way
Yeah,
McGregor's going to win.
You say. All right, Zobi, go
So
ahead.
let me make my pick.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, it's gonna be Mayweather, and he's probably gonna stop this fight. To be quite honest, I see him opening up in the later rounds, and he'll stop it at like 7-8.
Did McGregor win a round?
Yeah,
How many rounds did McGregor win?
2.
First two. You think first
The
two?
early ones.
Yeah.
The early ones. Absolutely. Everyone's gonna be hyped. They're gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Oh!" This guy's gonna be like, "Oh, I called this. I called this."
Yeah.
And then
At
you're
the
gonna
beginning, he's
realize,
gonna be real happy.
and then you're gonna realize he was just like figuring him out,
Uh-huh.
and he's figured him out within the first 2
Yeah.
rounds, and he's just gonna be able to like
I have blind-
dodge everything.
I have blind
that's thrown.
faith.
Listen, man,
in
it's
the
like
king.
you can't like you can't ask. It's like the example. I could use this analogy. If you're asking like a a water polo swimmer to go against like a Michael Phelps in a race.
Yeah.
Great swimmer, great
Yeah.
cardio, does something similar,
Right.
but is not the specialist in that
You know
one
what I
thing.
hate about this fight? It makes us all come up with these stupid analogies.
Absolutely, I have tons of them.
hate these
I have tons-
analogies. And I keep-
Triathlon
Yeah.
versus a sprinter.
Right.
He can run, but he
Yeah.
can't. You know, I can come up with these all the time.
All the time. It's like a baker against a cook. It's a different thing. You don't understand. You don't
He's
understand.
right. You can't do it.
Yeah.
All we're saying.
Baking is an art.
All we're saying. The cook and the baker.
Yeah.
The shared skills,
They're shared skills.
right? And every once in a while, I'm pretty sure that baker will be able to make a dinner roll.
Okay.
Specific.
Okay.
Let's talk only in analogies from now on.
Here,
The rest of the day. That was good. That was good.
but a cook is more like an artist, right? A cook will like, these are my 14 ingredients.
You know
just throw
bread
that shit in
starters.
it.
You know yeast starters.
Yeah.
That's not
No,
only an art.
But if
it
you're
is-
baking, stop it. If you're baking, you don't know. If you're baking, you gotta be. There's no messing around and having your own flair. You gotta follow this thing like a friggin' chemist. That's how you bake. Cooking is just like flair of the moment. I was feeling some parsley, and you throw it in there.
No, I don't think that's exactly what it is.
I don't think that's what it is.
A,
You don't
head
bake-
a head
yeah.
chef at a restaurant.
You're talking about elite levels. That's a different situation.
What is Mayweather?
Yeah, he's elite level. He does
McGregor
not.
is elite in his own right.
But that's the thing, man. He's going baking. Right? He's been cooking this whole
hurting my
time.
ribs.
He's been cooking this whole time, right?
Yep.
You don't know what was coming because
Right.
he's cooking. He's
Noodles.
cooking-
Noodles.
Yeah, but Mayweather has this down to a perfect formula, a science. This is
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's like
Okay.
he's gonna get fucked up.
All right.
Yes.
Jose Aldo. The Jose Aldo fight against
Right.
right?
The 10-second fight.
The 10-second
fight.
right?
Yeah.
No one saw
That
Conor moving one step back, Jose Aldo
Yeah.
charging forward,
Right.
getting clipped in the and it didn't even look like a hard hit by the
No.
way. Not at all.
It just face
And
like
it turns off and just
very dramatic.
yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
No one could have expected that was the way how it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Not Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, that's what did happen. Mm-hmm. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Mystic Mac
Yeah.
will deliver. And he
just-
will. He will. He might not win, but I'm telling you, he's going to make it competitive enough for it to be like
Jose
a
Aldo is just not at the striking level of a Mayweather. He's just not there. Like he's great, but he's just not the same kind of fighter.
I want to believe you.
Come on.
wanna
I do
believe
too. I do
wanna
too.
believe
I know.
I want to believe too. That's why I'm
Okay,
believing.
what do you
It'd
think
be
is
so
gonna
much
happen?
more
This is-
fun.
You
What
know
do you
what?
think is
It's
gonna
part of my new thing. That's exactly
This new thing.
No, it's like Maz Jobrani. I wanted to be excited, so
Yeah.
I let myself get excited.
He's so excited.
I let myself get excited. I'm gonna get excited about Conor McGregor. I'm gonna put it all in there. This is it. I'm good. I'm happy.
Okay,
Whatever.
fair enough.
All right. I'm gonna go with, of course, the simple answer. The
right
The
answer.
right answer.
Yeah.
The right answer.
And you know what? Real talk. I don't think McGregor. Maybe he wins one round, but I think Mayweather also like this is my 50th. I'm gonna show you my 50th, and he's gonna do it right. That's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I
what
see
he's
happening.
saying.
But I don't feel like he's taking this lightly. I feel like he's in shape. I love to see McGregor come out there and just rush him and hurt him and have him dancing around for a bit.
Stars.
But man, like I've watched I don't watch boxing, but I've watched at least 7 Mayweather fights. I've gone back and watched the last 7 of them.
Right.
And there's always been a guy who can land a vicious headshot or a body shot or is too fast or is too young. And McGregor has all of those things with a mouth.
Yeah.
So
He's gonna be talking to him in the fight. Just picture that.
Yeah.
He's fully gonna talk to him in the fight.
Yeah.
So they should have the mic.
The last danger that I would say Mayweather was actually in was when he fought a southpaw, which is what McGregor is, named Madonna, which everyone knows,
Yeah.
who has a punch,
Yeah.
like one of the heaviest
mule.
punches
Really?
in that same weight division.
Yeah.
Right? And he actually got rocked, but he never fell. He never panicked, and he ended up winning the fight. Mm-hmm. I don't see why McGregor is going to win this, unfortunately. I feel like I'm betraying something right now by saying, like, very confidently that Mayweather is going to win, but
Yeah.
I feel super confident, even though I want McGregor to win.
Yeah, me too.
And to me, success isn't measured for McGregor, isn't measured by whether he wins or not.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
You know,
yeah.
he's already won.
He's
well, yeah.
When they said, "Okay, we'll do the fight," Ding.
Yeah.
That's where
If
he
he
was.
has any level of success within the fight, it's just gonna elevate his stature.
Totally.
Where he might be able to just call out like Paulie. Like
I don't think that does numbers.
I don't think that does numbers too.
You know what's funny is they asked Canelo, they're like, okay, let's see him get past Mayweather, and then we may consider. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I think Canelo would beat the shit out of
I
McGregor.
don't even think that's a different weight. That's a different beast.
You don't want to fight Canelo.
Canelo's a different beast, man.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
It's here.
He's not a
this is-
defensive fighter, is what we're
No,
trying to say.
Yeah.
he's not a. Well, not only that, but I think he's. So the advantage here is also for McGregor because he's bigger.
bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Canelo, you're not gonna have that.
Nope.
Canelo will happily walk into the fight at 165, 170.
And Canelo will confuse the Irish audience. You're like, this guy's a redhead. He's from Mexico. I don't know what to do. He's gonna come out with an Irish flag.
Exactly.
Everybody's gonna be like, shit, I don't know
Oh
what I'm doing.
no! Who do we support?
But like, honestly, I think Conor took the easy way out fighting Mayweather. I know that doesn't make any sense, but you're not gonna hurt. Like, if I said, okay, you have to fight either Mayweather or Gabby Garcia,
Yeah.
you would be like, shh, bring in Mayweather and tell him not to shit talk too much. But like, dude, Conor's not gonna get his ass beat. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
He might lose. And that's not a bad result
Yeah.
for $100 million.
I totally agree.
All the way to the bank.
All the way to the
All the way to the
bank.
Yeah. On the way there, he might buy another Phantom.
I
Do
know.
you still stay a Conor McGregor fan if he gets, let's say, hypothetically knocked out?
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Yeah. What?
I asked that same. Remember going back to that conversation I had with the super passionate fan?
Yeah.
I asked him that question. He's like, no.
Why? Oh, that's
He's
not
like,
a
he
fan.
can't get
That's-
knocked out. He's like, he can't get knocked out. Mayweather doesn't knock out anyone.
Yeah, but he might get.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
When's the last time he knocked out someone was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It was Ricky Hatton. That
I
was the
remember
last
that.
fight.
And Ricky was
he
on
knocked him out
crack.
in the 8th round or something
Yeah,
like that.
Ricky,
very
like,
late in the fight.
Ricky had proper drug problems. And Ricky's small.
Yeah.
Ricky's a small
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Conor's not going to get knocked out.
He won't.
But even if
what
he,
if he
does.
does?
even if he does, he won't.
Come on, guys.
It won't reduce his.
Here, Mayweather can totally tire this guy out and get into like 10th round time,
And then take
taking
him
a
out.
lot of body shots,
Totally.
or even a few.
Totally.
Might take a knee here and there, might get caught. Yeah, it could happen. I just
No,
don't see.
I'm saying out cold.
I don't think Mayweather has that power. I don't think it
I don't
actually
think so
can.
either.
I don't think he can. Even if he musters all of it and hits him, I don't think Conor gets
How
knocked
are
out.
your hands?
Are they brittle? Do they
Brittle
hurt when
hands.
it's cold?
Yeah.
Do they hurt? And he kept saying it like, do they hurt when it's cold?
That's so funny.
And I was just like, this is the
Yeah,
best.
it was a show, man. I watched every single one. I've seen it multiple times. The press conferences in every single one.
As far as shit talking is concerned, Conor wins every belt.
Oh, you can ask Mayweather that. He did, like, in the interviews, Mayweather's like, this is the first time I'd probably say that, like, normally he's the one talking smack, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have, like, Canelo on the other side who's, like, this strong, silent type.
Yeah.
Doesn't speak much. Also speaks another language, so it makes it difficult.
right. There's a communication
Right.
barrier.
Yeah, communication barrier. But, like, in this case, Mayweather was the one, like, sitting quietly on his phone or doing something else while Conor just kept going. You know what I mean?
Because Conor can say that I can actually kick your ass,
Yeah.
which is something that
Yeah.
never has
Yeah,
happened to
that's true.
Mayweather before. If it was a real fight, you'll already be dead. Like, no one's been able
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say to
that's true.
Mayweather and
Absolutely.
actually mean it.
That's absolutely true. If this was on the
insane.
street, you're a dead man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's absolutely right.
Conor showed up with a pinstripe suit where the pinstripes say "fuck you."
Oh my god.
That's a man with no strings
When I
attached
saw
to
that,
him.
I was like, what? What? Who's your tailor?
Yeah. I
That
was
was my
like,
real question. Who's your tailor? Where do you get this fabric?
Yeah, he had to make the fabric. That
Yeah.
fabric had to be
That's
made.
custom. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That's custom fabric.
That's one of a
not
kind.
Like you can go to like, you know,
There's no
a
high
tailor
cut-
store and
yeah.
like, oh,
right.
this one.
Oh, yes. I'll take 1,000.
A 1,000 meters of this.
That was hilarious.
was
All of this
awesome.
has been hilarious.
Everything he does is like just top of the line stuff. You know
Can't
what I mean?
wait.
I didn't understand. He came out with polar bear skin. And he's
Right.
like, this is polar bear. That's not cool, dude.
Yeah.
You killed a polar bear.
Right.
Like, you know, like he's talking like he owns it. I'm like, dude,
That's true. That was bullshit.
that was totally bullshit. I was like, you killed
Polar
a polar bear.
bear.
What? Why are you supporting this, Connor? Yeah. So I think that was funny.
Maybe he was already dead.
You know,
Does it? Okay.
or you're like such a Conor fan. That's the thing.
This is
This is why this fight's gonna be sell out so much, is because
this
guys
guy right
like
here.
Yassine,
This guy right
he's like,
here.
well, you know, these
This guy's
excuse
right here.
makers for Conor.
You can't let it go to
100%.
waste.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the the fans that he's built
I never was a
are
fan.
like arguably the most passionate fans in sports.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
It's Yassine got into MMA at the rise of King Conor, right? Like
Yeah.
you've gotten into MMA
As he was going up.
As he was going up, like
Yeah.
this is
was
all
the
you've
Aldo
seen.
fight the first fight you saw for
One
Conor?
of the first, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a couple GSP fights like way back, but like actually get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Have a better idea what you're looking at and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first big one was Matt Hughes versus GSP too.
Oh no, you watched around when I started. I started at
That was my first big
Tito
one.
versus Shamrock.
That's a stupid fight.
2.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we might have. I definitely saw that.
Because I
one.
remember talking to Omer and you around
Yeah.
that time, and that's when like, to me, I only knew who Ken Shamrock was because of WWE.
Yeah.
Right?
He would have the gloves in
the ankle
WWE.
lock. He would have this ankle
Yeah,
lock, and
his
everyone's like,
finishing
"Oh!" It was so weird because he would have an ankle lock, and then the wrestler that he's doing the ankle lock to, his mouth would bleed, and I'd be like, "What's the connection here?"
What's he doing to him?
What?
So much internal trauma.
It was so
my
strange to
God.
me.
What's he doing to his leg?
Yeah, but Ken Shamrock, and then naturally from that they were just trash talking, and you know how UFC used to make their videos, like everyone like in black and white is speaking like back and forth, and
Yeah.
I just got really into that, and then one thing led to another, and I just kept watching.
They were. I know Ken was okay and Tito was okay, but they would have just these random guys from like Idaho. He's like, when I hit him, he'll feel it. You could tell like someone's like,
Which is
can you
funny.
say this, please? And he's like,
Back then, I was like, oh man, that is good trash talking.
Yeah, I was
to
like,
be
he
quite
might
honest,
do it.
I was like, oh, that okay. And now like to see where Connor's at, freaking, I'm wearing polar bear.
and now you can actually tell when somebody's faking, like shit talking, or
yeah.
like, oh, I see you're trying
Yeah.
to sell a
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
It's painful. Please
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, like I feel like Kevin Lee does that a lot, but whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people do, man. What do
Yeah.
you want them to do? They know if you ask, that's what Connor and Chael have shown the world.
Totally.
Is that
absolutely?
Chael came out of nowhere, talk shit, and somehow backed the shit up. And then Connor actually, his shit talking is better, it's more authentic. Chael plays like a role, he plays
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
character,
Yeah.
like a warden.
Yeah.
And then Connor was like, this is him raw, and then he can knock out all the best fighters in MMA in his weight class, going up progressively, and
Yeah.
then challenge the biggest cash cow that the world has ever seen in boxing. And now we're talking about, $400 million fight.
For fighters.
I want to see Muhammad Ali in his heyday and McGregor talk shit. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, Muhammad Ali wins that.
I think so, but I'd like to see
Just because
it.
Muhammad Ali's
Muhammad
rhyming while he's
He'll
doing
rhyme.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was gonna say. What?
that
Top
actually-
that.
He's dancing, he's rhyming. Yeah.
I hospitalized a stone.
Yeah.
You
Stuff
got more?
like that. I got that's all I got.
What's the second line? You need a second line.
He goes stuff like that.
All right, before we wind down, put this
Yeah.
all together, we gotta have a moment to acknowledge the man who's missing on our
Chaz.
podcast.
Yeah.
Shaz,
Yep.
we love you, bro. Sorry you couldn't make it.
Yep.
We'll
Absolutely.
make sure we have him the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder
scheduling and
who's
whatnot.
picking. Do you think he's a Conor McGregor?
I
fan?
talked to him on the way here. He's picking Mayweather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's
All you
he's
smart
rational.
people and
he's
logical,
rational.
Yeah.
smart people.
But just like us, he's just like, he'd love to see Connor fucking do it. Man.
yeah.
I think majority of fans are like
Yeah.
that. To be quite honest.
I find it interesting when somebody's watching the sport for a long time and they're just like, man, wouldn't it be crazy? Because you never thought this was going to happen, even while it was
Never.
about to happen. You never
Yeah.
thought it. Now
Never.
it's about to happen.
Never.
All right.
History.
All right, Zobi, thanks for hanging out.
No
I know it's a
problem,
little
guys.
tough.
Thanks for having me.
No, man, it's always a pleasure. And before we forget, your podcast is
Yes,
called
sir. Instant Replay. And you can listen to it on Stitcher. You can listen to it on the podcast app. You can listen to it on YouTube.
There we go.
And we're weekly. Subscribe. It's all the latest headlines in sports. It's a good time. I host it, and I get a bunch of guests on it.
I've listened to it and it's awesome. I listen
You've
to
been
it
on it.
regularly. I've been on it.
Yeah.
I started
you've
listening
been
to it. I was like, I should listen to this. I'm
That
on
too.
it.
All right, people. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in a week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.